Many people have been wondering, how do you properly practice Marth? And that is a great question. You know, is the way to practice Marth is to just simply wave dash around? Are you really thinking that, that you're getting your maximum practice efficiency off of that? Is it wave lighting around? Is it dash dancing? Is it swinging around? Is it down tilting? And the answer to that, you might not like hearing this immediately, but the answer to all that is that it really depends. It really just depends. Because the hardest thing about Marth, in my opinion, is that he has to play so many matchups so differently. Um, hey Zane. uh, the problem with Marth is that he has to. So here's the thing: is that so many of Marth's moves are completely useless in some matchups. Like some of Marth's best moves is fair, but so like fair is good against Fox, for example. It's good against Peach, but fair it's completely almost useless against Falco and Falcon. So you do all your practice with fair, and it's completely useless in so many matchups. And then you have moves like Nair, where short hop, auto cancel, fastball, Nair. That's pretty good to practice. But I'm gonna tell you that this move is completely useless against Peach, for example. It's like not great versus Sheik. It's not uh it's not great versus like, I don't know, Pikachu. But it is an amazing move versus Falco and Falcon. And that's the thing, is that the reason why it's actually so hard to practice Marth is because so much of his matchups are so volatile. It's so varied. Because some of Marth's best tool in X matchup is completely useless in another matchup. And it's like, okay, how are you supposed to practice Marth? And I think I kind of came up with like a good solution that moving forward, this is how I really want to go about it. So let me show you guys a little sample here. And so I have a Discord, and since right now I'm basically, thank you, anonymous gifter. Appreciate you, Zane, watching. Uh, Hopefully, maybe this might help you. I've been meaning to actually message you about this. That I think this can help a lot. Um, so right now, what I've been thinking is I need to verbalize a lot of my game plan because so much the game plans across the entire cast from Marth is wildly different. Where like moves like fair is completely useless in certain matchups. So I need to get down what are good moves to do in X matchups, such as Fox. This is the Fox section. And I've made threads in my Discord. Oh, what? So in order to know what move is good, I kind of just jot down. I like took a lot of notes, like, oh yeah, how would you beat Running Shine? And moves to beat that is like dash back, pivot grab, down tilt in place, instant approaching aerial, stuff like this. Nair in place to beat aerial, dash back, pivot grab against that, undershoot, overshoot, full hop stuff, laser spam. So first of all, you do need to get this a little bit established that what are moves that could beat X matchup? And verbalizing that is important. And then for strategy, that's only half the picture though. Strategy involves, what's their threat range, what's like the best valued move I could go for. Basically, with the tools that I'm given and knowing how to counter Fox's tools, what should I do that would beat them? And and I have like these conditions such as, as a general starter versus Fox, I know that he's a fast burst character. So doing a counter approach versus him is high value. So starting off by being right within running shine range and dash back pivot grabbing that is a good starter. And then, you have to see how they cycle the granted options. Like, do they tend to overshoot, undershoot, and such? And, what if they What if they start undershooting a lot? What if they camp? What if they are utilizing platforms, top platforms? What do I do if I land a stray hit down tilt and fair? And then, just in case I have to play a Fox in bracket, I have these bullet points that like, oh yeah, these are like really good bullet points to keep in mind when I fight any Fox, because if you want to play at your best, you don't want to think too much, and you just want to have like quick bullet points in mind, you know? Quick bullet points to be like, all right, this is what I need to do, and I gotta execute that. But that's only part of the picture. You also need to think about punishes, where like, you know, I think about like every relevant punish notes that I have versus Fox that like I need to keep in mind, such as like, oh yeah, 21% is when up air knocks down, uh, and I could reaction tech chase on platforms once it's at 21%, and you know, late up air beats slide off. Remember to react to the sound of the tech, so that I can make a decision tree on when to reaction tech chase. Look out for when Fox uses out his double jump, so that I know when to go out there and edge guard. Um, and you know, other scenarios related to that. And then, you know, if I'm unable to go out there, then jab F tilt is like great coverage. Very rarely needed respect. They recover high, react with their drift with either falling up air or double jump area, which I need to adjust that. There's an addendum that if Fox drifts away to the edge, then maybe I should F tilt and up tilt. And it's stuff like that. That, like, you know, you need to have good punch notes. And, you know, what would also help is defense notes, stuff like smash the eye. Think about your recovery, such as, like, you know, be very careful how you use double jump and side B. And you need to pay attention to their position. That's, like, a really good recovery note to make versus Fox. And it all kind of culminates ultimately to hold on. It kind of culminates is a 10-minute practice plan. Especially like this is intended right before bracket, but it could also be used for solo practice and like, you know, more than just 10 minutes for sure. Where I have this 10-minute practice plan of everything I just mentioned with Fox's tools, like, you know, oh yeah, you know, both Nair and Fair are pretty good. But if I were to choose one, definitely Nair is a little bit more useful. So I put in like auto cancel fast fall Nair as like one of the things to practice. I guess like jump back Fair is pretty good to practice as well. I mean, it's like I'm always changing this list, by the way. Like that's the thing, is that I don't want to make this public because I know that, or like super public, because like I know I'll be changing things all the time, every day. Not every day, but like every week. Because like this isn't like everything. This isn't an exhaustive list, but you know, I do know for sure that practicing forward throw reaction tech chase is pretty important. Doing dash back pivot grab, very important. Listening to the side B sound cue, very important. Doing up air up tilt, really important. Knowing the timing of down throw down tilt as soon as possible, extremely important. And you know, knowing auto cancel fast fall in there. And notice how like pretty much all of these very relevant to Fox. Where's wave dash in there? Where's practicing rising fair? Where's like all of this? And the answer is that like honestly it's not that good. Like doing like I did not put in wave dash down tilt in here because like it's not that good versus Fox. Why should you wave dash down tilt very often? So I think this is the way where having something like a 10-minute practice plan based on like pretty good, based on like what you know is useful, is probably the way to practice with Marth. It is highly dependent on a matchup. I've developed one versus Sheik too, where like a 10-minute practice plan is like, you know, kind of internalize Sheik's boost grab range, reaction tech chase with different timings of grab and down smash, visualize juggles on triplats, practice waveland down, shield drop up air, because that's really important for juggles in triplats. You know, this seems very specific until like, you know, you really break it down. Practice wave dash down, walk down tilt. I would not practice that versus Fox, but versus Sheik I would. So then, you know, I can down tilt Sheik's landing with her fair. And then practice up throw up tilt timing on port 1, you know. very important things to practice on Marth versus Sheik. Um, so I think, and notice here, like I did not put in auto cancel fast fall nair in this practice plan because it's not amazing versus Sheik. I should probably put in jump back fair here, but yeah, I think this is probably the proper way of how you're supposed to practice as Marth is knowing what is good in X matchup and actually practicing it. Because unfortunately, there is no catch-all general things. Like, with Fox, for example, Full Hop Bear is always good. Doing things out of Wave Shine is really good. With Marth, chain grabbing only works on 2 characters. It only works on 2 characters. So it's like, yeah, you should practice chain grabs, but I don't think you could practice chain grabs versus Marth and Sheik, Uh, so that is the hardest part about Marth is that there's no catch-all general practice routine for him that will guarantee you'll improve across the rest of the cast. But I can say that if you know what is relevant to each matchup, the practice will actually yield results. And if you want access to these matchup notes, it's open to all my Patreon supporters and Twitch subs. I guess I showcase Fox a little bit for free, but yeah, again, I'm not super comfortable making this public yet because like I am changing a lot. I'm still adding a lot. So and if you want early access to these, feel free to be a Twitch sub or a Patreon supporter, and you'll have access to this in my Discord. Hopefully this helps, and I'll see you around.